All's been quiet on the home front when it comes to the Ezra Miller stuff lately until we get the felony burglary charge in Vermont. Has he been taken in? Has he been arrested? No, he's been served with the felony. Ah, this is fantastic, isn't it? Somebody who's actually charged with a legitimate crime, okay? The allegations that are out there, right? That he stole some bottles of alcohol from another Vermont home back in May, and only right now he's been served with it. Like, if the authorities knew about the fact that he committed a crime at the time, why did you guys have to wait like 3 months in order to act on this stuff? June, July? Yeah, I actually got it right that time. Okay, so let's get into some of these details, because this is just so ridiculous, especially when you compare and contrast that to the fact that, oh, we think that Trump has some sort of illegal documents, even though, well, I'll probably get into this with the next video. Don't worry, it's coming out and all that stuff. Is going to be a long one, I would imagine. Haven't recorded it yet, but oh, he's got all of those classified documents, paper documents, in Mar-a-Lago in his home, even though the president has this thing called executive privilege that anything that he wants to declassify, he can immediately declassify. But don't worry, he'd go through all of those steps and all of that trouble to print out and then purge any of the records that are, just in the archives, only to keep paper copies in his home. It makes no goddamn sense, but more on that next. Okay, this is all about Ezra Miller, and if we needed to pad this up with any kind of crazy, there's significant amounts of evidence to just go back over to just encapsulate everything that's wrong with Ezra Miller. Okay, because this dude is a creep, he's a groomer, and now he's a felon as well. He's still out on the run, I guess. Ezra Miller, who is set to lead in Warner Brothers' film The Flash. We talked about the fact that, what was it, Batgirl, Batwoman, Bat cunt in a stupid suit that looks cheap as fuck, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, I think it's Batgirl, right? Yeah, that one got shelved. But at the same time, when Warner Brothers was making that announcement, they doubled down on the fact that The Flash will be released. Oh boy, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with this at this point, okay? Because now he's actually got a crime, okay? I'm sure he's probably committed multiple other crimes as well, and he still has those 2 outstanding restraining orders, of course, that are out there, but that he's actually got a crime attached to his name. How much more are they going to wait in order to, I don't know, get rid of this? They can't get rid of the film, okay? Like, it's already cost several $100 million, okay? At least $100 million, okay? And he is kind of the lead, and it's, if this was just like, okay, if you take a look at the Marvel films that are out right now and the whole litany of them, if this was just kind of a, I don't know, like, what's one of them? This is Thor, Love and Thunder, okay? Just one that really doesn't play too much into the greater story of Marvel at this point. They would just shit can it and just push it off to the side. But this is allegedly, I don't know anything about the film itself. All I know is a rough outline of what the story is supposed to encapsulate. It is supposed to be the part and a retelling of a story. It's called the Flashpoint story, where it resets the entire universe. So it takes DC out of that weird kind of standstill that they had with the Zack Snyder universe, and then just try to transition it into whatever their new direction is going to be. So it's a pretty integral film. And Ezra Miller's smack dab in the middle of that. So what are they going to have to do? Recast it, reshoot it, and what's that going to end up costing? The reshoots might end up costing the entirety of the script and the entirety of the budget again. So they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place, and fortunately for them, couldn't happen to a nicer company. So frankly, I don't really give a fuck. I find all of this shit hilarious, and Ezra Miller belongs in jail, okay? And he's been charged with felony burglary in Vermont, according to a police report. Filing states that the 29-year-old was charged for allegedly stealing bottles of alcohol from an unoccupied Stamford, Vermont residence back in May. So he's been charged, and this had to come from a police report, and again, back in May. It is August 9th, okay? And they've had articles and everything else written up about it, because I'm pretty sure all of this stuff happened, okay? All of the big reporting of all of his grooming accusations were well after this happened, so why are we just learning about this stuff right now? Oh my lord. Vermont State Police was notified of a burglary complaint on May 1st with the residents of County Road in Stamford reporting that several bottles of alcohol were taken from within the residence while the homeowners were not present. Well, at least it's not a B&E, right? It's just a simple burglary. Again, that's probably why they didn't, raid his compound and drag him out kicking and screaming. After the investigation that included surveillance footage and statements, police found probable cause to charge Miller with felony burglary into an unoccupied dwelling. Yes, exactly. Miller wasn't located by police until August 7th. Wait a minute, so a couple of days ago. Interesting. When they were issued a citation to appear in Vermont Superior Court on September 26th for arraignment. I'm sure he'll send some representation there. I highly doubt he'll actually turn out, but whatever. The embattled actor has faced a number of allegations and controversies as of late. Let's just go over some of those, shall we? Just to refresh everybody's memory. It's been a few weeks since we've had an opportunity to talk about this complete fucking psychopath. Miller was arrested twice in Hawaii earlier this year for, overturning a bar and trying to get into a fight with somebody. Okay, in March on charges of disorderly conduct and harassment. And the police officers were so mean because they didn't use my preferred pronouns of they, them, that's stupid. Anyways, and in April on allegations of second-degree assault. The disorderly conduct charge resulted in a no-contest plea for Miller, who was later released and fined $500. That would be fine if somebody didn't have, the history that Ezra Miller does, but whatever, it's Hawaii. They do fuck shit all the time. 2 other charges, obstruction of public sidewalk and harassment, were dropped. Yeah, those just kind of seem like, well, we need to charge him with something because he's acting a fucking fool, but at the same time, he's also a Hollywood celebrity, so we kind of got to go easy on him, right? Anyways, the actor was not charged in the second-degree assault investigation. Imagine that, just skates free on life, just like what he's doing right now. 2 women have accused Miller of abuse, and last week an insider expose centered on 2 separate accounts from parents who allege that Miller groomed their children or acted inappropriately with them, and all having obtained temporary protective orders against the actor. There's another allegation. Of course there is, because we know the one in Boston, the one from, South or North Dakota, Takata Ironized, and then, the 12-year-old in Boston. Oh, no, right, 11 at the time. He's a sick fuck, okay? Never, ever forget that. As for Miller, alleged activities in Vermont, a June Rolling Stone investigation. Fuck, that was that long ago? Man, I thought it was only a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, we read through that Rolling Stone article where he has a mother and her 2 kids. Meanwhile, the father is, I think, in the UK, okay? And again, that's just another sad state of affairs with you got a single mother, okay, who's got some attention from somebody with some significant clout. And it doesn't really much matter, okay, because her needs are being taken care of and her kids have plenty of stuffed animals and loaded firearms to play with. That's what's going on at that compound that's out there. That's also home, again, to an illegal grow-op, which nobody cares about. This fucking shit is wild. Anyways, it's been a minute, and I just had to remember and re-access all that information. Anyways, back to the Rolling Stone investigation stated that they have been housing a 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children. I thought it was only 2. See, memory gets a little spotty when we keep talking about all of this fucking weird shit that continues to happen in the world. Nobody does fuck all about it, but no, we really hate Orange Man, and we need to raid his compound because we're so afraid. And next video. Sources with knowledge of the situation allege that Miller's 96-acre compound has been an unsafe environment for children where unattended guns were scattered around the home on the premises. And I remember specifically what were one of the claims, okay, the kids right next to their stuffed animals or their toy pile, you just have like random guns around because that's a responsible gun owner. Remember, that'll be that same side of the aisle, okay, the they-them crowd who would say that firearms are just evil, but then wouldn't have anything to say about Ezra Miller just keeping him around because at the same time he's a protected class and he's a famous person. There's different rules for those type of people, but any of those evil Republicans or anybody who's slightly right of Mao, you just have to be put into the wood chipper, right? Representative for Miller did not respond to the Rolling Stones' request for comment or Vanity Fair, who's once again going they're at least reporting this. I can't really say they're going hard on Ezra Miller. They're just reporting the stories, because we've used Vanity Fair a couple of times to cover some of these topics. I can't quite keep all of this stuff straight, but I know we've used Vanity Fair before. So these big trade papers, okay, yeah, because Rolling Stone's one, obviously Vanity Fair, Insider, Hollywood Reporter, those are the ones that Hollywood and the greater ecosystem of entertainment take seriously. So they know everything that's going on with Ezra Miller, but yet they continue to double down, speaking specifically of Warner Brothers, okay? They continue to double down on using him. Why's that? I would imagine, oh man, cast your mind back to early 2010s, okay, when the two Coreys, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, child actors from the 80s, were making the rounds, and Corey Haim had just died. Oh yeah, and that was just before Corey Feldman started to do his weird Michael Jackson tribute with his angel dancers. That was a fucking weird time. Anyways, but they were making a lot of allegations, ones that seem just a little bit more true nowadays than ever before, but they were saying that Hollywood is filled with a bunch of powerful men that like to do fuck shit with kids, and yeah, no, they have first-hand information on that. Remember, okay, back in the day, and Ezra Miller's been in Hollywood for a long time. He's only 29 right now, and give or take 10, 15 years ago, I'm sure he was probably just the pick of the litter, the metaphorical belle of the ball for some of those fucking weirdos that are out there. He probably knows every fucking mole on every Hollywood executive's ass, every shade and shape of each mole on every producer's crank that you can think of. That's why he's still running free. That's why he's organizing his sex cult. I don't know what the fuck he's actually doing. Nobody really knows, because nobody knows where the fuck he is, if we're being completely honest. Despite many storms Miller has weathered in recent months, Warner Brothers is still banking on them to lead one of the superhero films. And in a call to investors just last week, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav said, we have seen The Flash, Black Adam, and Shazam 2. Shazam, I know, but who gives a fuck? We are very excited about them. The Flash is scheduled to release in theaters June 23rd, 2023. I'd imagine it's probably still going to get released. It's probably just going to be pushed back, and maybe Ezra Miller's not going to be in it, because like you said there, the investor call, we're very excited about The Flash. Yeah, no, it's going to be a tentpole film for you guys, but can you have somebody who's running kind of a Jonestown light edition of a fucking compound who just runs around the world beating up women? I don't think that's a terribly good look, and by the time June 23rd rolls around, if he continues on his pace, what the fuck else can you attach to this guy's name? He is a sinking ship, and Warner Brothers already has one there with Aquaman 2. Amber Heard looking directly at you, and I gotta do an update on those wild sex parties, because buddy, is that hilarious still, and more information coming out about that. But one creep at a time, shall we? How about Ezra Miller? Now a confirmed felon, so what the fuck are we waiting for? We know the FBI is just all too willing to kick open a door whenever they think that something could potentially go wrong. But then again, Ezra Miller, he kind of votes the right way now, doesn't he? With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.